Welcome back to another episode of the Bougie Book Pod. I'm Kira.
And I'm Tara.
And this week we are going to be diving into our part 2 of Queen of Shadows. Last week we went into Aelin and Rowan and Aelin and that whole side of it. And so this week we're going to focus more on the witches and Dorian. And I mean, with the witches comes the conversation of Mora, whatever. The king, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously where everyone ends up colliding. So
yeah, I think part 1 was fun, but part 2 is like the juiciest parts.
Yes.
Of course, all of her books, I feel like once you get to the middle to the end, that's where everything like really ramps up and you get super excited and hooked in. So the last episode, like Kira said, we followed her return, Aelin's return to Rifthold, her tense reunion with Kale. That was weird. Her rescue of Adian, the long-awaited fall of Arabin, his murder. So today, the stakes climb even higher. We learn more about Men in Blackbeak. She starts to question everything that she's been taught as she cross paths with the mysterious, I forget how to pronounce her name.
I say Elide.
Elide, okay, Elide Loken. It's Elide. Dorian battles a horrific Valg possession. Remember, he's got the collar on him. And then we've got the final showdown with the King of Adarlan. And so it's, wyverns or wyverns, however you pronounce it, witches, war, possession, just craziness. So, part 2 is where the darkness really takes control and breaks loose.
So I feel like the one thing that we didn't talk about a lot that we have to like set up here and like not to over explain because obviously assuming you guys have read this is we didn't get into the conversation of Morith, blah blah blah, which like I said, I think I said at the end is what I feel as though is on the cover of this.
Yeah,
that's what I pictured the whole time, and I don't know if that's actually what it is.
I wonder if I had it. So I read this on my iPad, and I highlight way too much, obviously. But I was looking at it just last night, and there was a quote where they were trying to figure out like what the old language meant, and it was like the dark tower or something like that. And they're like, what does that translate into today's language? And it was Morath. Let's see if I can find all my highlights. But if you want to get into what that is.
Yeah, so for me, it's just, I picture, like it says, like this dark, terrible, cold, only stone for some reason. My head, black stone specifically, place where we have the witches, more specifically Manon's crew. Manon is there, and they believe that they're working on, this is part of what they have to do to get the land back that they have, that they haven't had for a while, to get that claim again, their deal with the king. When in reality, there's some dark stuff going on. You've got breeding. I don't know a better way to say it.
Yes.
So they're being used for breeding, the witches. There's a whole like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a command center almost in my head, like a dark command center that's just like taking place there because it has to be in a certain location.
Yeah.
But it's led by what's his face? Duke Parrington.
Yeah.
Duke Parrington, sorry.
Yeah, and they're like experimenting with these Valg princes to impregnate these witches. And they're trying to find like the best bloodline, like which of the witches basically can sustain their seed. I don't know how else to say it without sounding crude.
Yeah.
But it's like some of it is killing the witches. And if I'm trying to remember correctly, did they start with the Cochrane witches? Then they asked Manon's grandmother to like, or Manon to pick which group they would honor first.
I remembered it as a group volunteered before they knew what was happening.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what group volunteered.
I think it was voluntold.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we'd be honored or whatever.
Yeah.
And then after that, they needed another group.
Yes, because it didn't work.
Because it didn't work, and they went to Manon, and they were like, we need some from your clan.
Yes, and she was none too excited about this. So, Duke Parrington, and AKA Erewhon, we find out this Valg prince. He needs the witches to build his army. So, and they're looking to see again, like how the bloodlines will work so that they can get their like mega babies. I'm not really sure, but it's like they're gonna create these. I have it written down, these demon spawn soldiers. Mm-hmm. The Kraken, I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm so sorry, you guys. A lot of these names are very like Gaelic, and
yes,
and my father would kill me to know that I can't pronounce any of these things. But these Kraken, so I really wish I had I know I wrote down the pronunciation, but anyway, these witches are captured with the intent to forcibly pregnant them. So the yellow legs, they were voluntold as experiments, and it was not working very well for them. But they were looking for that iron teeth strength and the Valg darkness, and it's pretty dark and scary.
I didn't like. Okay, so I love Manon at this point. This was not a point, but because of the setting and because of what was happening, I didn't love when the chapters went there, because I was like,
it was very
like I'd rather be with Dorian
yeah,
in his weird messed up head.
Yeah,
like,
this was. I think it's because we're women, and the idea of like forcibly like having like these foreign demon things put inside us, and then like they would describe like the witches screaming, and when we meet Elide, wait, how do you pronounce it?
I say Elide.
Elide. When we met Elide, and she was trying to get down there to see what was going on. She was
she's like working the laundry.
Yeah, and all the red towels that were being brought in because, you know, all these women were bleeding out and these poor babies. I mean, it's just really, really crazy. So Manon is witnessing this and like this nursery setup. And again, she has been questioning her grandmother's motives, and she's like, none of this is feeling right to her. This is when she meets Elide.
Yeah.
And Elide, we find out, is Parrington's niece.
Yeah.
And through her story, you find out that she has ties to Aelin. And that her mother gave up her life in that moment when Aelin was a young child, and like gave her time to run away and get away because they were going to murder their whole family. So when you learn that, you're like, oh my gosh, like the ripple effect of what happened to Aelin and her family is just, it's so huge. And I remember, I think it was a few episodes ago, I talk about like they're all like these little pieces on a board, and now it's like really coming together, like how they're all starting to connect to each other.
Yeah.
But Elide, she is described as like meek. She's got this not broken, but like this messed up ankle. So she's got this limp. It's like a broken ankle that never healed properly, and they didn't let it heal properly. And she was in chains, and you can tell that she's just been a slave her whole life for her uncle and been like hidden away. But she's special in a way because she's that quiet, dangerous one. Where she's been playing the very long game. She's been paying attention to everything. She's very aware. She's picking up on everything that she has to be, so that at some point people start forgetting about her a little bit.
Yeah. It's like she's playing along to a point where she can hide in the shadows, even though she has that limp and like that that stakes out. But she's observed enough to pocket the information.
Yes.
And we see that she's a very strong, mentally very strong. Yes. She overcomes the like her strength for her problem. I don't know how to phrase it.
Yeah, disability.
Yeah, and that, I don't know. But like she doesn't have all the strength to get out of her situation.
Yeah.
And that,
but she's constantly aware of her surroundings and constantly looking for a moment.
Yeah, and that's where her not teaming up, but like her connection with Manon is like Manon is the perfect opportunity for Elide to have that brute strength.
Yes.
All of that stuff.
Yes, and when Elide sees Manon, she's scared of her at first, as I think most people would be the way she's described. But there's something about Manon that Elide really like looks up to in a way, and she's attracted to it. And you know, I think she says this to her at some point. She says, "I'm not afraid of you. I've survived worse." and you know, Manon never says it outright, but you could tell she totally respects this girl.
Yeah.
Because she can see that she doesn't have a chance against the forces that they're surrounded by. And yet there's something about this girl that she likes her chutzpah.
It also feels like Manon has tried to be like, shoo, like, let me scare you off, go away. And Elide doesn't. I think Manon like respects that. She's like, well, I guess you're just gonna have to come along if you're not gonna like.
And she uses her. She's like, well, you can help me spy on these people, because people are not paying attention to her. They think she's dumb, I guess, because of her limp, which is really wild. But she ends up being a character that you want to know more about. Like I know a few episodes ago we talked about people not being excited about the introduction of Manon because they just want more of the Aelin story, but I hope that they didn't feel that way about Elide. Because once I got to her story, I'm like, oh, I need to know more. What's the connection? What is she going to be? Where is she going to? And then we learn a little bit farther down the line in the story that it seems like she may have some witchy blood.
Yeah, Manon. I don't remember how. Manon
like can sense or smell something.
Senses it. I want to say she almost tastes it.
Her blood, right? Because she was hurt or something.
Yeah.
Somehow,
and she's like, "You got a little something." It gives me the feeling of when someone's like, "I'm 1/16."
Yes.
Something like that's what.
There's something
she's
in
not
you.
like strong enough that anything can, no powers or whatever can arise, but it's there.
But there is something there in her, and then you end up learning that her uncle always suspected that, and then he wants her.
And that's why he kept her around
to be a part of that. Baby making machine, and
which is crazy because they tried it on one clan and it didn't go that well, but you're gonna grab your niece who's like literally like 1/16 witch and you're like, oh, this might work. Like,
but clearly he could care less about her, but she is like the heir of that area that she's from, Paranth.
Something,
sorry guys, but she should be Lady. But he's taken that from her. So there's like a lot going on in these stories, but
Elide also gives me the vibe of like, there's so many movies, so many stories where it happens, and like on the spot, me thinking of an example I can't come up with, but it's that like little younger brother sibling, almost like, I want to come along, and it's like, oh my god, fine, just like shut up, like let's like that's how Manon sees it.
Yeah, totally.
But Elide is not like that little sibling. You know, she has value. She's not just like an annoyance.
Yes, but at first glance you think, oh my god, this poor
liability.
This poor thing's gonna die. Yeah. And then we've got this great callback to Kaltain, or however you pronounce her name. Now, she was introduced in the very first book. She was the one that tried to get Aelin killed. She went cuckoo nuts. They put her in the dungeon. She was always hearing the wings. Now she has been transformed, and I forget how it happened to her. They put something in her, but she developed the shadow fire.
Yes, she has something in her arms, I want to say.
Gotcha.
It's like a stone.
Yes, that's right. And then what we learn is that like she's pretty cruel here, and she does what they ask of her because they're trying to build her into this weapon or whatever. But you do learn that all this time she's been resisting the Valg, and she's playing a long game as well.
It kind of gives me like she and Dorian, the fact that they are able to push back. Their minds are able to push back. Obviously, she has like the shadow fire is very different from what Dorian's going through and things like that. But I almost wonder, like, I wish we could have had like we have a Dorian, like you can get inside of his head and hear the thoughts and like how he pushes back. Like I almost wish we would have had like not the whole book, but just a couple chapters of her.
Yeah.
Just a few.
Because I think she ends up being so important because she ends up just, I mean, we're kind of jumping all over the place, but she ends up destroying the Vow Tower with her shadow fire. She sacrifices herself. She knows this is going to kill her, but she has this encounter with Elide and Manon, and somehow, I forget, because I'm so many books away now, she finds the connection between Elide and Aelin, or Selena, or whatever. She tells her, get this to Selena, and she's got one of the word keys.
Yes.
And she's just like, we have a chance here.
And she says, it comes back to Aelin giving her the cloak in the dungeon, because she says something about for her kindness and for the cloak or something, and she has that to give to
and then I love this because I put this quote down, and she wrote, tell them the truth that even in darkness there is light. So she has been holding on this whole time when they've done so many awful things to her. And like you said, I wish there had been more chapters on her, because I think she really, really deserved it. She is the one, like, she gives them a chance, really, because by blowing up this tower, they're set back a little bit. And now that's given Aelin more time. It gives Elide a chance to escape, gives Manon a chance to kind of escape. They don't escape, but they get away and acting like, oh, we didn't know what happened to the tower.
I also, when she did that, I like remember being like really like upset for her death. And I was like, I can't even imagine if you would have had those chapters. Like it wasn't a Nehemiah type thing for some reason for me. Like it was really, I was like, oh my God.
Yes, because she was just a girl. I'm almost going to start singing Princess Sophia. She was just a girl in the village doing all right. And then she became a princess overnight. And all she wanted was to be queen. She just wanted to be royalty. She just wanted to like get in the
hate her in the beginning.
You hate her in the beginning. But like as you see her story go on, you're like, this girl just wanted to nab a prince, live in a castle, wear some fancy dresses, have a title, and then she's imprisoned, probably raped. Like all these things are happening to her, and she's wasting away, and then she sacrifices herself for others, where she could have just like offed herself, just be end with it, but she did it to save others, and so she did not get the credit she deserved, I don't think.
And I also wonder like what if she almost knew that she was worth more and she was waiting for that moment to take them down, and she saw Manon and Elide as like, okay, this is my time to help and do something after everything I've gone through.
The power that she had that they were building, and I guess she just couldn't stand having to use that for them any further. So when we get back to the witches, we didn't touch upon that there's like, they hate all of them. Oh my God, why can't I speak? All of them hate each other. But the big confrontation or the big issue is between the Iron Teeth and the Krakens, or however you say it, right? And so Iron Teeth are the Blackbeak, the Yellow Legs, and the Blue Blood clans. They're the ruthless witches. They're the eat men witches. And babies, too. Now, the Kraken witches, they're like the fire witches. They're more, like they say, human-leaning, nature, fire magic. They're peaceful, and they're focused on healing and elemental balance. And so these two do not work together. And the Iron Teeth, what they want is to get rid of all the Krakens, Krokens. Oh my God, I have to look up how we pronounce this. I can't keep talking about them like this. Hold on. Carry on.
But it's also interesting because they used to have their whole kingdom, and they just couldn't be peaceful.
No.
They couldn't be peaceful. Someone else wanted to be in power. They felt as though, and they're whatever. But it's almost like Manon, at this point, Manon disagrees with her grandmother, which Manon's starting to think like, this stuff going down at Marath is a little funky. But it also feels like Manon's not like, hey, let's all all the witches love each other. But I think she's starting to lean towards like this is like what this feud is just exhausting. Like we just need to put someone back in charge, have it be that way. Now, granted, of course, she would love it for it to be her and like their clan.
I think it's also she just doesn't understand this feud anymore.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like it's so old. You're like, wait, why are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's especially because they had lost their land. They don't have their kingdom. So it's like, why are we going at each other's teeth?
Yeah.
When we're still trying to get our kingdom back.
Yeah.
And our land. Like, we're not the enemies here.
Okay, I'm
you find it?
Crochin.
Alrighty then. Well, I mean.
Well, I'll try to remember that. Crochin. But yeah, and then so it says long ago the Crochins ruled a united witch kingdom, like you said, and then the Iron Teeth matrons, craving power, staged the brutal coup. They massacred the Crochin queen, and all the Crochins scattered. And they were like pretty much fugitives in the wind. But they had a prophecy that a queen who would one day come and reunite the clans once more.
Yeah.
Now, Manon's grandmother is so hell-bent on that never happening, and like their goal is to kill all the Crochin witches. And in fact, at some point, I forget what it was that Manon did that displeased the grandmother, because a lot's happening at this point that she's not happy with.
There's so many things.
But she has her specifically murder a Crochin that they had captured.
Yes.
And then forced to wear her red cloak as a reminder of,
oh yeah,
you killed this Crochin.
Back when they were in like the
and
the
like
training,
and it's like an honor that you wear this now because you were know that you killed. And then like if any Crochin would to see you, they know what like how you got that. So like we said a million times, Manon's got a lot of doubts. She's just, things aren't sitting well for her. She still just doesn't understand the power that these witches have, why they're even bothering with the vows, why align themselves. Like they're usually out for themselves and only themselves. And she's just wondering what else is going on because the grandmother doesn't tell her like the bigger picture here.
And I think Elide helps because she does go down, like she has that exposure to it.
Yeah.
And Manon learns that her grandmother knows everything that's happening and is fine with it. And that's where you see Manon's like, okay, this is when I see like who you are, because like I don't agree what's happening down there. You're aware of what's happening down there. You're fine with it.
Yes.
We don't align.
Yeah, because there was at one point that Manon was like, human babies, they could care less about. But witch babies, they're hard to come by.
Yeah, they're super rare.
They're super rare and they're super protected and loved. And like the fact that you would even try to experiment with these witches and their potential babies is just like an abomination to her. So that's a problem going on.
You want to switch to Dorian now?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So then we've got Dorian, bless his heart, battling in his mind for possession of his mind with the Valg.
Yeah.
In the glass castle. Yeah. They've rescued Aelin. They had their encounter with Dorian, but they had to leave him behind. Now, this is when I hope you remember. I should stop and like look, but okay. Where do Manon and Dorian cross for the first time? Because that is key.
I know it is.
And I can never remember where they cross for the first time. Is Manon in the castle or is... Because Dorian eventually goes to Morath, but not now. It's much later. Where do they cross? Oh my God. Is it in the castle?
I don't remember.
Well, they cross paths.
Damn, did he...
Okay, while you're thinking, let me set more of the scene. Even though people have read it, I hate that I do this. But anyway, Manon and Aelin, they ran into each other. They're about to kill each other. They have this whole thing go down. The structure is literally about to fall on them. They decide, for some reason, deep down in their hearts, they're not going to kill each other. Whatever. They, like, I don't know. I don't know where that comes from. So then after that, Manon and Dorian cross. Where do they cross?
Okay.
In the castle?
They first meet in the forest when.
That's what I thought. A lot of stuff happens in the forest in this book.
Yes, because
me.
at some point, didn't they have Kale at some point? Like he tried to do something. He tries to feel like Dorian's on his way to the cast to Morath, I believe, and they try to. Oh my God! There's a part in the story where Aelin and all of them, they try to intercept at some point there.
Yeah,
and things go wrong.
When
and then,
she and Manon have their.
Yes, and Kale goes off on his own. And yes, I think that's where they first meet.
However, it sets up the iconic Dorian that we all like. We love Dorian to begin with, but this transforms Dorian into the Dorian that we know, where he is able to fight the Valgoth enough
because
in his mind
he remembered his name
flirt
and she
with
was like,
Manon.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
However, it was crucial because Manon sees that he is still there. It's not just the Val controlling him.
Yeah.
And this is where she gets her message to Aelin because she owes her. They owe each other for this little not killing each other type thing.
Aelin, which is a crazy scene. Yeah. And I think it was Astrid who was like screaming for Manon because Manon was going to die and Aelin saved her. Yeah.
So she owes her, and Aelin sees painted in like blood or something on a wall, like
in Rifthold.
It literally says witch killer because she killed Bobby Outlegs.
Yeah.
The human is still inside of him or something. Like the human is still there. And it's an iconic thing, and I'm upset that I can't remember how she phrased it exactly. But that is how.
I know I did.
Because Aelin wanted to kill Dorian, and Kale was like, can we not? And this is where it solidifies, like, okay, we have to get in the castle. We have to do this rescue mission to get Dorian, get that collar off of him, and bring him back. The human is still inside, or something weird like that. The human is still in him. The human is something. And this is where.
Okay.
Did you find it?
It says payment for a life debt.
Yeah.
One sentence just for Aelin. One sentence that changed everything. Which killer? The human is still inside him.
Yes. And this is where they formulate this plan to get back into the glass castle, to get Dorian, get him out of that collar, like I said. But this is also, they have to come face to face with Dorian's father, the king, which is wild. This whole scene is insane.
And it makes you kind of tumble as a reader, like everything you thought you knew and assumed, and then you're kind of like, oh wait, was I wrong to feel this way? Is it right to be okay that this happened? So they want to save Dorian because now they know he's there, so they're trying to like call to his soul. Kale is shouting to him like reminders of their bond and their plans for a better Darlin. And then, Rowan's there, he's using his magic. And then finally, like, Dorian is like, he unleashes this raw power inside of him, shatters the collar on his own, and expels the prince from inside him. And then we've got like this confrontation with the king. It is wild.
Yeah, so Dorian is like, I have to kill my father.
Yeah.
Like, now that I'm free, I have to kill him.
Like, how could he do this to me? How could he do this to, like, the world?
So this is where the king becomes someone you didn't know. And he overpowers, like, the real king comes out. I don't know how to say that. Like, the real king is present in this scene.
Yeah.
And basically, Dorian learns that when the king and Duke Parrington were younger, they were messing around in the castle or whatever. They opened up this gate to, like, the way they can travel through the realms or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
which let Erewhon
Yep.
and the Valg princes in, who then literally took over their bodies
Yep.
and have been living in their bodies ever since.
And it's crazy because then they call back to this scene of when he went to visit Aelin's parents when she was young,
Mm-hmm.
and she remembers this and like that feeling of like him being nasty at this dinner or whatever, and like trying to get something out of her,
Mm-hmm.
because they were trying to hide the power that she had. Her parents were really afraid of people knowing her true power. And like that's the night that everything started, and at that night her parents were killed. He's telling her now, I came to you for help. I was hoping that you would recognize what was in me,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and pull it out. That's what he
Which
went,
is wild. Aelin's like 6.
Exactly. But he's like, I've heard, like, we knew of you, like, of prophecies and things like that, and I knew you were my only hope. And
Aelin's like, he's weird.
Exactly. Like, he's really mean. But it's just, you know, he says he was a decent man and he placed the word stone to gain power, but, you know, becomes corrupted because he's overtaken. And it's just like, he says, I thought I could control the darkness. Instead, it controlled me. Yeah. I caged my own son in a nightmare I created. Yeah. And it's just like, it's terrible, but at the same time, he's still not completely free of it. Like the Valg is in him and they have to kill him.
Mm-hmm. Is this where Dorian finds out what his dad's name is? Or is that like way later on? Do you know what the king's... This will be perfect. Do you know what the king's first name is?
His actual name?
Yeah.
I know that he was being possessed by Erewhon.
Yeah, but like the true, like what is, before he's possessed, you know what his name is?
No.
Okay, then it's revealed later on.
Okay. Unless I totally missed that.
No, you would remember.
Okay. But
yeah, he's able to, he holds that piece of humanity by having Dorian, by marrying Dorian's mother, by having Dorian's brother, who is crazy. I don't know if that's, we want to put him in that bucket, but
I still don't know much about this little brother.
He's just a psycho.
He hasn't really appeared much.
No, I don't think he appears much after.
Okay, that's good. I was like, great, what's coming now?
No, he's just crazy.
But they know that and the king knows that he has to be put down, right? Mm-hmm. But the Valg inside him is fighting hard. I mean, like they all almost die, and at some point, Kale puts himself in between all of it. But he's wearing the Stone of Elena. He still has the Elena thing that Aelin gave him, and he gets blown out by the king at some point, and they think Kale died. And together, Aelin and Dorian, they go like apocalyptic on the king. Mm-hmm. There's fire, there's ice, and they basically destroy the entire tower. And Aelin puts up this wall. Dorian becomes king now. The castle is in ruins.
I mean, who makes a glass castle?
Yeah.
Come on now.
And Kale is not dead.
No.
However, he no longer has the use of his legs.
Yeah.
He cannot walk. And this is a huge blow.
Because he's Mr. like,
yeah.
I'm not saying Kale has nothing, but
no.
Kale doesn't have powers. It's his brute strength.
Yeah.
And so for him, it's like
what
his identity. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, Dorian is still loves him so much, and he's like, we're gonna find the best healers. We're gonna figure something out. Like, you're still so important to me. But you can tell Kale is just like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
And so where do we go from here?
Well, this is when it's really setting up, because you transition into the tandem read.
Yeah.
Which we did, so we will endorse the tandem read.
For sure. I'm really loving it.
Yes. I will say, are we going to discuss it as 2 separate books? Because I don't think I can go back.
I don't think I can.
Can discuss it as separate, or
is that how you want to do it?
I can do it however. I'll just have to refresh really hard.
Yeah. I have an outline because I was like, how the heck can we do this? Because I think it's going to be hard we might have to do it in sections of like, this is what happened here, and then this is what happened here between the two books. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to remember which book is what. It's just going to be like, this is what's going on in their world.
Well, this explosion, I guess, sets up the whole purpose of Tower of Dawn.
Yeah.
Because, no offense to Gale, without him being paralyzed, the Tower of Dawn would not exist. There'd be so many pieces to the end of this story that would not exist had he not lost that ability.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Shout out Kale.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry that had to happen, but it's the universe putting things into motion for them. And so at this point now, with Aelin taking out the king with Dorian, she has fully and publicly claimed her title. She is queen of Terrasen.
Yep, and she's working with the king now.
Yeah, and so they have an alliance. And they know that they still need to go to Morath. They still need to shut them down before things get any worse. But it's just Aelin who doesn't have a kingdom per se or an army, and now Dorian, whose most of his army has been killed by the Valk. So they're really, in name only, have this alliance, but there's really nothing backing them up. Yeah. So this is where now, in setting up in the next books, Aelin really has to figure out like who her team is, which we already have it at this point. But like, what do we do? Yeah. How do we build up an army? Who's going to align with us? And so, will Maeve help? Probably not, since Rowan, pieced out on her. And there's a lot of things, and I don't think we even talked about Lorcan, or however you pronounce his name. Sorry, guys.
Lorcan roaming around looking for causing trouble.
Yeah, but he has a word key or 2 word keys.
Yeah, he's been sent over by Maeve to find them and whatnot
and get that last word key.
So they've had the run-ins with him,
and he's all like, "I'm going to kill them."
Yeah,
but you get the sense that he'll turn to the right side eventually. That's what I'm hoping right now. But so Aelin has the 1 key, and now they have to figure out, like, there's this lock. Like, what the hell is this lock? Where is this lock? How do they get to the lock? How do they put Erwin back in? Is Maeve going to join Erwin and the Valg, or is she setting off to do her own thing and trying to get word keys for herself? Yeah. Like, it's not really, my stomach. It's not really clear yet if she's going to align with them or if she's going to try her own thing. Yeah. I kind of get the sense that she's going to do her own thing.
It feels like you have them butting heads with what's happening in Morath, and then like Maeve is over here formulating something, and then you're trying to figure out, you're trying to make theories on what direction Manon and Elide are going to go, who they're going to align with, but you have them kind of on their path. Everything is like, I feel like we say every single book, everything's building up to the next book.
Yeah, like, it is though.
It's like this scene where everyone's running together and you're just like, oh my god, how is this gonna just
collide? Because now Elide is free, or not free, but she's free, but she's escaped the tower because of this explosion, and so she's running off, and Manon and the 13 are with her. Like, you're wondering, are they going to stay together? Are they going to separate? Like, how is this going to work? Are they going to accept her as a witch? Is she going to like have powers? You don't know at this point, but you know that like she's got something important and she's got to get it to Selena, which is funny because she doesn't know that Selena is the queen that she wants to get back to as well. So she's got it in her mind, first I have to find this Selena, and then I have to find my queen, which is, I can't wait for her to figure out. I'm still not there yet, but I can't wait for her to figure out that these are the same people. And then we've got poor Dorian, who's trying to like figure out, how the hell do I rebuild this kingdom? How do I earn the trust of the people again? How do I make alliances with other kingdoms now? Because his dad really screwed that up.
And you also feel like he's interesting, like he's mourning the death of his father, because I think he realizes this man that was so terrible and all these things wasn't really his father, and he's mourning the idea of like, I didn't know my father.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was there, but and like from those glimpses you had, his father clearly was a great guy, and like he just was a little kid that messed up, and he knows that,
and he knows what it feels like because not for as long as his dad, but he was under that possession too. And so to think of everything that his dad had to endure, that was kind of his fault, the guilt and the horror that he must have felt. And so I think Dorian's carrying a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
And then again, like you said, we're wondering like, how far will Manon's defiance go? Is she going to leave now? Does she go back? How's everything going to work out with Aelin? There's like all these things, and Aelin and Rowan. And I have it right down. The Caranum.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where I've got
calamari.
Yeah, the calamari. I've got questions, and I think I said something before, and you made a face.
Probably can't answer.
Probably can't, but kind of feels like they're mates. But I thought he had a mate, and it was his wife. And
I do remember you asking this.
And it was like all these like centuries gone by of him mourning his mate, but I don't know why, but it feels like they're mates. Like everything in the world brought them together, and I'm just really hoping that there's an explanation.
There is. I can't tell you.
Okay.
Where?
You can't tell me. Am I reading?
I don't remember.
Was it during the tandem, or is it the last book?
Oh, I think it's the last book.
God dang it. Well, I'm halfway through. I'm finally halfway through, so we'll see. But I'm just so like, how can this be? I thought like there's only one mate. And then again,
Sarah J loves mates.
She really does. This brings me to another thing I wanted to talk about.
Is it about Sarah J?
No. So like I put out there on Instagram like ship it or whatever, and like for people to tell me, and no one responded as per usual. Like yeah, we know the people who do end up getting together at some point. Like I don't know. For the rest of the book, I have an idea of people who are going to start matching up, right? But I thought it would be fun to do like just wild characters in the story, like who would have been fun if they were together. And no one did that. And then I started like, the more I get into the story, the more I realize that I couldn't do it because you get so fixated on who is ending up together that you can't picture it any other way.
Yeah.
But then, and this is talking about something that hasn't happened yet in the series, but like I'm in the tandem and there's these two characters and like I see them getting closer and I want them to get closer, and I'm just asking myself like, why do I want this so badly? Why is it that in every pop-off story there's like these groups of people that I'm like, oh, I want them to get together and I want them to get together, and it's like I'll be so upset if they don't. Like, why do we want that so bad? Like, why can't it just be they work really well together, they're great friends, but this one and that one remain single? Why do we so badly want to ship people in stories?
I don't know.
What is that about?
I don't know, because I'm in Crescent City right now.
Okay.
And there's a character that I love, and like they don't really express so far any love interest, and you're like content.
Good.
Like they should be on their own, and they're okay like that. So I don't know. But I feel like in Throne of Glass, it is very, you want everyone paired off.
Yes.
For some reason.
I'm going to say it right now. It's Elide. I'm talking about Elide.
Okay, I was wondering.
And there's things.
I didn't know if we were talking about the southern continent or where we were.
And there's things happening with her, and I'm just like, I like this for you. I hope it works out. But then I was like, why do I want this so bad? Like, ooh, wouldn't it be nice if she just learned to be strong on her own after everything? But it's also like, but she's been so hurt by so many and trusts no one. It would be nice if she gets to a point where she can trust.
I know it's because everyone has these like really bad backgrounds, and you just want them to have
you just want them to be happy. I think that's what it is.
And while you're reading, you have no idea how this is gonna end. You have no idea if Sarah's gonna like make this into a terrible thing or whatnot. So you're like, give them a little bit of happiness while it's occurring. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes me scared. I'm trying to avoid anytime I see memes about the series.
Yeah, I would avoid that.
But I have been seeing some memes of like people reading Kingdom of Ash and just looking destroyed, and I'm just like, I can't have this happen. But I don't know what's coming for me, but I know it's going to be rough. Some people have commented that I'm in for I'm in for a ride.
Mm.
Okay. Cool. So anyway. Let's see. I had some questions and I can't find them now. I think we already talked about this one. This is one I wanted to talk about, like how does the king's confession reshape your view of him?
Oh yeah.
And I think it just makes you feel like, damn, this whole time you're just like this evil bastard. But then you're like,
so bad for him.
Poor guy. You know, it would be fun if she ever wrote a book like from his perspective of like how it started and all the things he put in motion. Oh, and then he even mentions about like that getting rid of magic was a part of him trying to be like, well, if I can get rid of the magic, it kind of staves off all of this stuff that they're trying to do. And you're like, wow, like it was bad because they're killing people with magic, but he was just trying to prevent it from getting any worse.
You know what the Val gives off, and especially with the king, when Voldemort doesn't have like a body in the beginning, and he needs like a host, and he has to like you know feed off of like the unicorn blood and all that stuff to regain. Because it's like the Val can't completely take over. Like there's someone still there; they can't be their own being. That's what it made me think of. There's a Harry Potter marathon on the other day, and I saw the unicorn scene, and I was like, that reminds me. Or like when, you know, anyway, I could go off about Voldemort, but it gives that like it needs a host. It can't be independent, and the host still has a little bit of power. And especially with the king being controlled for so many years, you wonder like, does the Val get stronger as the time goes on?
I imagine, because
it seems like at the end it is all Val. All Val. So
and then it's really only until like there's these big pressure moments that the people that exist inside are able to come out, because it takes that huge emotion. But so the king's story is pretty brutal and sad. Okay. The last question was, are you excited or terrified for Empire of Storms? I was excited because I felt like there's so much more that needs to be uncovered and explained. And and at this point, I was still looking for some Assassin's Blade people to come back.
Yeah, Empire of Storms is definitely like number 2, like top for me. I want to say Kingdom of Ash. It's very cliche because like it is the grand finale. Then Empire of Storms, and then I think Queen of Shadows would be number 3.
Okay.
So I was looking forward to Empire of Storms, but I was also looking forward to the tandem read because I'd never done a tandem read before.
I haven't either, and I think it's brilliant the people who put those like schedules together. God bless, because it's been so much fun, and I know that like I still would have enjoyed the stories independently, but it just adds to the excitement when you don't know what's coming.
My mom did them independently.
She did? How does she feel about that?
She liked them.
She did?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good books.
Some people hate Tower of Dawn, but she liked it.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I like it. It's adding more like background kind of on the Valg and this understanding of how long they've been there. And so we'll deep dive on that soon. We'll figure out how we want to do it. But I loved this book. Loved it. I don't know if I had like the Goodread ratings on it.
I think we talked about it last week.
Time. Yeah.
It was like 4.4 something, 4.6 something. And I read a couple of the...
Yeah, and the people who didn't like Manon, boo-hoo to you. I had somebody comment on Instagram about that at first she wasn't really keen on Manon and not understanding where it was going. But she was like, it ended up being one of her favorite characters. So...
Manon is elite.
Yay, witches.
But yeah, we'll have to figure out how we're gonna split up.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about doing tandem read Tower of Dawn because there's a lot.
There is a great deal. A great
deal. Maybe a 7-part.
I know. I think
and then Kingdom of Ash will be 10 parts.
Oh my god, we're never gonna stop talking about this book, which is crazy because it's like I have so many books that I want to get into. Have you been reading anything new? Oh, you're reading Crescent City. Are you still? How far have you gotten?
I'm on the second book, like page 300 something. I had a good stint where I wasn't reading it. but I'm trying to get back into it just a couple times a day. My mom just finished the whole series last week, I think.
And how did she like it?
She really liked it.
That's good. Okay.
No, it's good. I can see it's confusing in the beginning, but it's very good. It's very different from the other two series.
How long did it take you to get into it?
Like 150-ish pages, because it's not like you don't get into it. It's just it's so different. It's so much more complex right off the bat.
Gotcha.
Right off the bat, you're introduced to, it's not just fae anymore. It's like fae and wolves and shapeshifters and this, and like literally you open up Crescent City and there's like the different houses and who's underneath it. There are fire sprites, there are witches, there are humans, and you're just like, what?
It almost feels like a melding of both of these worlds. You know how like in ACOTAR there are humans and they're terrified of the fae, and then now in Throne of Glass, we've got fae, and then we've got shapeshifters.
Yeah,
they didn't have wolves, but not that I know of yet. But now I don't know. I'm curious. I'm not sure if I want to go straight into that after I finish this. I think I'd like a little palate cleanser of something different.
I read a lot in between because I finished Kingdom of Ash last year. But I did a lot of little fantasy series, like One Dark Window. It's a 2-book series.
I want to read that.
I can never say it correctly. The Serpents and Wings of
That's
Night.
On my list too.
My mom just started reading that series because it's like a 6-book series, 6 main books, but it's divided up into duologies, or however you say that.
Oh, okay.
Interestingly enough, and then there's like novellas, but the novellas are actually pretty good. So I did like little side quests, like dabbled in smaller series. Before I was like, okay, I have to buckle down and do this. My one friend was reading Crescent City and she kept texting me about it, and I was like, I need to do this. And then my mom did it, and I was like, oh my god, stop pressuring me. So I did it.
Okay. It's going to take me a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I still have to finish the tandem and then Kingdom of Ash. And it's like, oh my god, I just want to read. My job keeps getting in the way. I don't know why they just won't let me read. But real world problems, I guess.
So yeah, come back to part 1 of 10 of the tandem.
Yeah, part 1 of however many we decide. And just enjoy the ride, I guess. And please comment. Please, for the love of all that's holy in the world. I just want like to put some other ideas out there instead of just like us spitting things into the wind.
Instagram's funny though. Instagram's hard to get your stuff seen because like I don't.
Yeah, there's.
Whereas like TikTok, you're literally just looking at strangers' things half the time.
Yeah, maybe you should start posting those questions on TikTok. See if people will comment.
There's a video that I need to do that I found the other day, so I'm like,
okay,
I can just sit and actually take my time and do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for hanging in there this long, and I hope you join us for the rest of this saga that we're trying to get through. I guess until next time.
Yep.